Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to be here with the owner of Budget Beautification. Yes, it's Briana Tortoso joining us here from Westchester, New York, to talk about her budget-friendly interior design services, which is so exciting to hear that, yes, it is affordable. And yes, your space can be beautiful. She's here to help with that. Hi, Briana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Good to see you here today. And thank you for joining us. I'm excited to talk about interior design. I'm a mom of a 7 and 9-year-old. My house is chaotic and I just wish it looked nicer and more beautiful. And I see these beautiful pictures like on your website. And I'm like, this is what I want my space to look like. How can it happen? And it's just so gorgeous. And I know one day it can happen, but I urge everyone to go to your website. Let's start there. They can see what I'm talking about, these beautiful projects. It's budgetbeautification.com. Welcome and tell us a little bit about the company.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. So I am a budget-friendly interior designer. It's a passion I've had, ever since I was younger. I, was always redoing my room. That was always what I wanted for Christmas. Mom, I want to redo my bedroom. I want to redo the kitchen. So I have, over the past 4 years, taken it upon myself to start this budget-friendly interior design service. Everyone's budget is obviously different. I had built my home from scratch and I am a type A person, wanted it decorated immediately. I thought I had the budget to do so. And then I realized I did not. So that said, I did it budget friendly. And I've sort of just really have grown since there. And I work with
Amazing.
people to really make their home look like it's $1 million, and when it didn't cost that much at all.
Beautiful. So yeah, I was reading that you were always fascinated when you were younger of other people's houses and what they look like. And you mentioned even in the college days too, at house parties, you'd be more interested in like what's going on at the party, the interiors instead of what's actually happening at the party, which is great.
Yes.
Where are you from originally? Share a little bit about your background if you don't mind.
Sure. I grew up in Long Island and Queens, New York. I grew up predominantly in Rockaway Beach, Belle Harbor.
Beautiful.
And my parents were divorced, so I was with my dad in Long Island.
Oh,
So I was back and forth my whole entire life.
got it. And then now as a teen, younger years, what did you get into? Were you always into interior design?
Yeah, I was. Like I said, I would always go to a friend's house. I'd redecorate her bedroom. Or we would say, let's go shopping, and we'd go shopping for clothes, and I would be in the home store. We'd go to the mall, and I was always looking at couches. I just always truly loved it. And it's something that I think I always did. This was not my career. This was something I started on the side. So I started it on the side, and now I've grown it quite a bit.
Amazing. And you also have children, right? How old are they?
I do. I have a 12-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl.
And were you doing ad sales before this as a mom?
I still do it, but
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
I still do ad sales and design.
oh my goodness. Wow. So you're a busy bee, obviously. And,
Yes.
I read you have an article in the New York Times. Could you share a little bit about that?
Sure, sure. So
That's impressive.
we built our home from scratch, as I mentioned. We were living in New York City. We moved to Westchester, and it took quite some time to find a home, and we decided we're going to build a home from scratch, which is how this sort of really all started. And we were approached by our broker to speak with the New York Times about moving from the, New York City to the burbs and what life is like and what it entails and the difference, the advantages, the disadvantages. So they interviewed us and they chose us to, be part of their story and their segment for that particular week or month, whatever it was. And we went through the ups and downs of, building a home, a lot
Mhm.
of decisions. My husband and I had many conversations about what we liked and what he liked or versus what I liked. And yeah, it was quite a feat, but nonetheless amazing.
Oh my God. How did you find the piece of property? Because I know you were looking and you were, you're right. It's like you got to spend all this money to change something that you don't like in a house. So where did you end up finding property? Was it a total new build from scratch or did you have to buy, knock it down? Just
Nope.
curious.
It was completely new build from scratch. Our broker approached us with this land, and so we're actually in Pecanico Hills, which is a hamlet within Westchester.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, beautiful little area, and we again couldn't find, to your point, we couldn't find anything that we didn't have to redo. So this sort of is something we made our own, which in turn I feel like was a blessing in disguise because it really allowed for me so what I did while the house was being built, I went to school online to get a certificate in interior design and really get a better understanding of colors and architecture and all the things you need to know. So I got that while the house was being built. My builder hated me
Uh-huh.
because I was like, nope, nope, nope. Um, and that's sort of how this was the house building of the home was the genesis of how I started my side business.
Wow, this is amazing. Making every like decision, everything. It's got to also be a little time consuming as a mom and as someone who worked. Like that's a lot of work to put into building a home. God bless you. But if you had to
Yeah.
do it again, would you change anything?
Well, great question. I would change things in my current home. Yes. In terms of like an interior perspective, yes, I would.
All
Now I
right.
know more and I know better. However, I've taken what I know that I would change and I'm able to utilize that in other people's homes. So
Beautiful.
that's been helpful. But yes,
Oh,
I would change a couple of things.
amazing. This is a great story. So you always had this love for decorating, and then here you are starting your own business. How many years now has it been?
I'm in business 4 years now.
Congrats. Tell us again, the ways we can reach out to you, the website, a phone number, any social media pages before we continue.
Yep. So the website you mentioned is budgetbeautification.com. My Instagram, the handle is budget beautification. That's more updated and way more recent in terms of my projects.
Awesome. And how does it work to work with you? Do you want to share the process?
Sure. So it's again budget friendly. So I'm not at hourly. I charge by room and it's soup to nuts in terms of what I'm willing to do. Paint colors, window treatments, furniture, bedding, floors, colors. It really runs the gamut in terms of what I'm willing to do within that room, whatever you may need or may not need. So it's by room. In the event you'd like to go to a store, I do charge an hourly fee.
Okay.
However, that said, I kind of try to steer you away from that to save you money, but I understand people want to see a rug or something, a couch,
Yeah.
or feel it in person. Um, but I work within your budget, whatever it may be, and everyone's budget is different. But perfect example is if someone has a teenager, say going away to college, but their tween years, 13 to call it 17, really want to update the room. That's a perfect example of how someone's like, I might not want to spend a lot of money, but I want it to look so nice for the next couple of years.
Hmm.
And people tend to do one room and they're like, oh, well, now I want to do another room. And so I make it very user friendly, for lack of a better term.
I love it. And now with technology, are you doing a lot of the work with your clients via Zoom? I mean, because that's definitely helpful, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have done people, in another state via Zoom, or FaceTime. That I do. I mean, I do a lot more hands-on, going to homes and seeing, but I also do it virtually as well. So it can work either way.
Beautiful. Well, this is exciting work you do because I'm looking at your pictures and they're just so beautiful. Do you have a favorite space in a home that you love to do?
My favorite is bedrooms.
Ah,
You know why? Because I think that when you walk into a bedroom, if your bed is made, it makes all the difference in the world. And it's such an cost-effective way. If you want to switch out your comforter, like it will make a difference. You throw on a different color pillow, it will make a difference. So it's a very easy, affordable way to really change a space. So bedrooms are one of my favorite rooms to work in.
now let me ask you just about, you being a parent myself. I just find like a lot of these homes I see online that are so beautiful, like magazine-like. I'm like, how can I upkeep that with young children? They're messy, they make messes, they put things in the wall. How can I get this beautiful, nice molding? Is there, any suggestions and advice you give to people with young children? Because maybe it's not the right time to do the interior design or only certain rooms at this point till they get a little older.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like, that's one question I always ask. How old are your kids? So if they're younger, I will definitely steer them in the direction of potentially going to a less expensive
Yeah.
store per se. Or I will say you have to get very durable fabric, something that's sustainable in terms of spills. And they make that all now. They really do. So that's helpful. But the bulk of your budget is a couch. I would say like let's really look at the fabrics and test them out. We get samples, we get swatches, and make sure that they're user friendly. Rugs, same thing. Indoor outdoor is a great way to keep a rug clean yet looking pretty, which is not, not
Yeah.
nobody, but not most people don't think to put an outdoor rug inside.
Got
But
it.
they
Yeah.
are very durable.
Interesting. Yeah. I see them all the time at Costco, and I know you shop in affordable places too, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Well, can I ask you about you've been doing this here for 4 years. So did you start the business during the pandemic? Because I feel like so many people were in their homes during the pandemic and they look around, they're like, oh my gosh, they want to change this. I feel like a lot of good to come out for interior designers and, construction because people were like kind of sick of where they're living or realizing they need bigger space in certain areas. Well, how did COVID, change your work in a sense?
It was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I just started, I just started really getting out there pre-COVID. And then during COVID, yes, that's when I really, word of mouth really came about for me. And yes, I helped people a lot. Because again, people are sitting in their homes just looking at what they hated, and wanted to redo things. And that was where again, virtually, I did a lot virtual because of COVID. So that's where it sort of really took off for me.
Interesting. I find that a lot of people spend so much time in the kitchen that every place I go now, everyone's renovating their homes or they're making the kitchens bigger. They realize there's no real need for like a formal dining room anymore.
Well, that's exactly one thing I would have done differently when I built my home. I would not have had the formal dining room.
Well, my formal dining room is a toy room still. So it's like
Yeah.
I've never, and it's just a space with all junk in it right now. And I'm like, why is this wall here? It's a tiny little dining room anyway, that it would be one day. Like the kitchen wall shouldn't be there. My house is maybe 23, 24 years old, and I moved in 7 years ago. And someone, redid it, but basically just so we could move in. And the buyer who flipped it and fixed it up. But I'm like, why did he, not knock the wall down? Well, get less expensive, of course. Why do I have saddles in my house? I hate the fact that it goes to the nice hardwood
Right.
floors, but this old tile, it's like, but yeah, that dining room, I feel like it's a waste. I'm seeing, everyone has these open floor plans, which one day I would love to have as well. But the concept of that big island, right? And the social area in the kitchen, I feel like most people are renovating their kitchen, which, by the way, looking at these, I think this is your kitchen on the website. Is it with the white cabinets? Is this yours that I'm looking
Yes,
at?
that's mine. Yes, yes.
Beautiful. And you have like the crown molding at the top. I'm so jealous. It's so beautiful. And the big island with the stools, right? That's you?
Yes, yes, yes.
I
I
love
would
that.
go bigger though. I would go bigger on that island.
See? Tell me. And then also let me ask your opinion on this because one thing I'm noticing being in a house for 7 years now, I have a tiny little island. You can't even put stools on it because the lip is not there, but I still put stools. Um,
Hmm.
but like the kids kicked in all like the wood or whatever it is, so now it's all scuffy and but I see a lot of people now taking I guess the tile on top or the granite on top and it's on the sides now too. So it's more
Yep,
kid proof. What I don't know what that's
exactly.
called. What is that called?
I don't know what it's actually called per se, but it's definitely a newer design element that a lot of people are doing for that exact reason.
Yep, can't
I
keep things.
also would suggest going a lot darker, which again, something else I wish I would have done, which my husband suggested, but I did not listen. Doing it a darker color,
The island itself or the cabinets?
the cabinets underneath, because you wouldn't see as many of those scuffs and marks. So mine is white and you see it. So I'm constantly
Yes.
cleaning it.
Well, same here. Mine's like beige, but still, yeah, because I see a lot of trends are now people are doing the islands in a like a dark blue
Yep,
or
or
a
gray
brown.
or
Yeah. Okay.
green. Yeah, it's run. They're all sorts of different colors now.
Now we know, right? We learn as we go. And with budget beautification, again, based out of Westchester, the work that you're doing, you also let's go over some of the other services because you're doing lighting too. I mean, wallpaper, is that back in?
Mhm.
Window
Oh,
treatments.
it's
What did you
everywhere.
want to talk about next?
Yeah, I love wallpaper. I'm a big fan. Accent walls make all the difference in the world.
Mhm.
And now there's peel and stick, and the options are endless in terms of what you can do. Another thing that wallpaper does is it gives a very different dimension to the room, right? It can either
Mhm.
make it look bigger or smaller depending on the color and the size of the room. So one thing that I do now is I will just wallpaper a ceiling. So sometimes people get a little nervous about doing a bold print, but doing it on just the ceiling makes, again, all the difference in the world. So you do one wall, do an accent wall with a little bit of wallpaper. Again, very inexpensive and changes the completely changes the look of a room.
Mhm. Well,
And wallpaper is very much so. Everywhere you go is selling wallpaper now.
interesting. You said peel and stick?
Yes. Peel and
H-
stick.
you need two people to hold that and stuff? I'd be so worried if it like stuck and I'd be like,
Yeah, you definitely need somebody who knows how to put it up. So it can, or it can be a DIY project for sure. But I would recommend anytime I recommend this to my clients, I have, I work with obviously contractors and ones, who specializes in wallpaper, and he does the peel and stick.
Got it.
But it's
Amazing.
not, I would not suggest doing it on your own unless you absolutely know how to. However, again, it's a lot easier than traditional wallpaper to put up, and you could take it down in the event you get sick of it.
Got it. Now, do you also offer, for the initial consult, right? How do you get started? Do you offer any 3D drawings or is it more like you bring pictures to the table? How do you start to work with the client? What's the first step?
So what I ask for after, I go to a consultation, a half an hour consultation, and then I ask for inspiration pictures, and then we talk about style and what you may like and what you don't like, and I will take some out of their comfort zone, provided they're open to it, and then I present a mood board of my ideas, and I source anywhere between 7 to 10 items. Say somebody's looking for a couch, I will show anywhere between 7 and 10, and I will show it with different wallpaper or color or rugs or lamps or coffee tables, different variations. And then they'll say what they like or that they don't like. And we will go from there and then start purchasing.
Awesome. Well, there's a lot of people out there that say have this whole motto like, well, interior design is too expensive. And I know you work with people on a budget, which is great because people don't realize it is affordable, but also the process of the investment because the work that you do that you're seeing ahead of time, it's just some people can go cheap and go buy stuff at stores and do whatever, but I think it's worth I can't wait to pay someone one day to do this. My friends have done it both ways and they all say, should have went with the interior designer. It would have saved a lot more money in the end and a lot more time, and the
Mhm.
quality of the things are different. So, what is your take on that? Someone out there who's listening saying, maybe I'm not sure if I could afford this.
Well, the thing is so it's what I do is I will find items that are on sale, or, if you're getting last year's couch or a couch from 2 years ago, it's going to be not as expensive, right? So you've got great websites out there, tons. There are actually so many that you can go to, or I would go to, and I would say, okay, so if your budget for the couch is X amount of dollars, this is what we can find, and this is what is very good quality. Um, However, it's 2 years old in terms of it when it was made, which is it's fine. I mean, how long do you have it? You typically have a couch for more than 2 years anyway, so you're not looking to renew it necessarily. I do a lot of outlet shopping also. That's great quality outlets are always a great, you can find some great deals. I think what people have a hard time, they feel very overwhelmed where, I will walk into an outlet, let's say, or even online and be like, this works. This will look great. This is great quality. This is a great size. That's the other thing. People get, I've seen homes where, there's a couch in a room and it's just too big. And it's like when someone has pants on that are too short, like they just don't look right. Your curtains are too short. They just don't look right. And that makes all the difference in the world too.
Yeah.
So that said, when I'm looking for an item, it has to be obviously the right size. And if it's, good quality, that I will make sure it checks every box with what I'm finding.
Yeah, I get it because this is awesome. Like, and is there like trends that that, we could benefit our listeners? Are you noticing certain trends in the bedroom and the house in particular? What are people going, like you mentioned the wallpaper trend. What other trends are happening in the world of interior design?
Gold is everywhere.
I see a lot of gold in the bathrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, lots and kitchens,
Hmm.
and a lot of people are now doing like, which I love, and it's bold, and you have to be willing to do this, but forest green cabinets in their kitchen, or all of the cabinets, or a deep navy, or even I've seen people doing, like a burnt orange, which is great, and it looks amazing, and it's a very bold move. But so that's something that's new. I mentioned the island being a different color, gold. A lot of people are going very modern now, a lot more contemporary than traditional, which is beautiful also. Um, yeah, so that's big Capiz. A lot of Capiz chandeliers are what everyone's looking at, and there's a lot of those on the market now for very large chandeliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I like that too. And what about, like, when it comes to floors, let me ask you, because there was a trend with everyone doing hardwood floors, but now I'm seeing a lot of vinyl. Tell me what's best for the floor, especially with children. Can you explain this? Or is it still the traditional tile? I just hate grout lines because they get all
yeah,
dirty.
yeah.
So-
Well, again, now they make faux wood floors now that look amazing and are a
Okay.
quarter of the price,
Okay.
every color under the sun. So I just did a house in the beach, and it was a gray wood floor. And that was actually peel and stick. There was this client had a very strict budget, and it was a very small area, and it was a peel and stick vinyl, which is great for kids. You could spill anything on it, but wipe it up. Sand, it vacuums up very easily. And it was very inexpensive, and it looked just like
Mhm.
wood, and it was peel and stick. Now, that said, if you're doing a whole home, you can do these prefab faux wood floors that look amazing, and are great for heavy traffic and, durability.
Yeah. Oh my
With
goodness.
no grout, like you don't have to worry about grout and getting it dirty or not.
See, I'm so crazy with my floors being clean. No one's allowed to wear shoes in my house. You want me to tell you what I'm thinking? This might sound crazy, but as the mom, I could talk to you about this. When you go to like a restaurant and the bathrooms have like a drain? I feel like my
Yeah,
kitchen should have a drain
I
so I
know.
could
How
hose
amazing.
it down at the end of the night. But I like things super. My mom used to clean houses for a living, and I have this OCD like my mother with the cleanliness. I'm very disorganized, the upstairs
Mhm.
of the house, but the downstairs is super clean and neat.
Yeah, I'm the same
Upstairs, I
way.
look like a
Mhm.
hoarder. I don't have the time to put stuff away.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I get
But,
it.
we look for, and also now I think we're looking a lot of, durability. I remember back in the day, in my mom's house used to have I forget which one's which, the living room, the den, but there was the one room that no one went in. It was like furniture that you can't sit on. It was like
Hmm.
carpets you can't sit on. I feel like nowadays there's no rooms like that. Like everything is on and you got to make everything durable and look good.
Yes, exactly.
Livable.
And functional, right. It's
Hmm.
functional and livable.
Oh my goodness. All
I
right.
can
Well,
empathize very much with the OCD. I am the same way.
oh,
I get it. I really do.
oh my goodness. And by the way, here you are in Westchester. Are you working with those in the tri-state area, or are you doing virtual consults all over? Tell me your scope of work and the distance that you work.
So I mean, I'm willing to go to Connecticut, New Jersey, and I'm not far from either. I will travel up to 30 to 40 miles, depending. Again, time is important. But I have done homes in Connecticut, and I've done quite a few in New Jersey. So I'm not opposed to that at all. I won't travel over 2 hours. It's a lot. But I'm open to wherever I may need to go.
Aw, well, thank you. And we have just 3 minutes left in the show, so I want to really, ask you in closing today, how did you want to leave off for everyone?
So, I want everyone to know that I understand that designing is overwhelming, and some people just get stuck and cannot make a decision. And that is overwhelming in a lot of aspects, financially and decision making. This is where I can really help you, and I take on that burden. It makes life easier for you. I work within any budget. It's no budget is too small, no budget is too big. I will work with existing furniture. So say you have your grandmother's piece of furniture that you just do not want to get rid of. I'm happy to work with it. I will work around it. All in a very budget friendly way. And I will never, I always listen to the client. I always make sure that I listen to their needs, and I'm happy to work with whatever budget they have and whatever design style they want.
Awesome. I would figure most people have an idea of what they want, but do you also have clients or people listening today that say, I don't care. I want someone to just do it right, do it beautiful, show me. Like, do you ever get full reign that way? Or most people are kind of like hands-on?
No, I get full reign for some, and I love that.
Oh my goodness. Yay. All right.
Yes.
Well, let's remind everyone how we can reach out to you, please. Thank you so much.
So Instagram is Budget Beautification, and my website is budgetbeautification.com. You can DM me or email me through either of them.
All right. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today and excited to talk to you. Are we back on again soon? Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, I said, are we back together again soon?
You and I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we?
Oh, I don't know, because sometimes we some people do series and shows. I didn't know if not as far, not yet, not as far as I know. But excited to have you. I was going to say next time, I would love to see, like, if we do have a next time,
yes,
we can even pull up and share the screen and show some of your work and go over some of the rooms and some suggestions, anything like that. Since we are, we're live on the podcast and the Zoomcast as well, to make it more visual. So maybe for next time. But you were beautiful, and I appreciate you. And I hope people go to the website, check it out, even read that New York Times article. It's gorgeous, your house and your story and what you went through, and awesome. So thank you for being here and helping so many people, especially moms, right? Because we could all use a little fix in a room or two or all rooms. So thank you again. We appreciate it, Briana.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Oh, no, same here. Have a fantastic week. Good luck with your kiddos. Enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the week. And don't forget, budgetbeautification.com. Briana Tortoso, pleasure. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.